Unity has faced major scrutiny over the past few days and is facing impending boycotts by indie developers that use their tools over their new price changes. And while we heard days ago employees were allegedly facing death threats, and of course that's never acceptable, it seems like it may have been a ploy to gain sympathy from people in the industry and deflect the very legitimate criticism being levied towards them. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media so you can see when my content is posted, and of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and live streams I create, consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. Now, of course, the gaming industry is in flames right now because of the Unity situation, but just a couple of days ago, we actually had heard that apparently employees at the company were being threatened, that there were very credible death threats levied towards the company, which of course is never acceptable. That is never an okay thing to do, no matter how angry you are, no matter how upset you are, no matter how hopeless you feel in a situation. It's never okay to levy death threats towards employees of a company. But now we are actually finding out something that, of course, adds pieces to the puzzle. The plot is thickening. This, from a couple of days ago, had said Unity Technologies canceled a planned town hall and closed 2 offices Thursday after receiving what it said was a credible death threat in the wake of a controversial pricing decision earlier this week. The company was made aware of a potential threat to some of our offices and has taken immediate and proactive measures to ensure the safety of our employees, a spokesperson said in a statement. And Unity closing all offices because they could be potential targets and is fully cooperating with law enforcement. Now, of course, this was only 2 days after they had announced the very big changes that has, again, put the gaming industry up in flames, that you have larger developers rallying against indie developers banding together to threaten boycotts. People are just extremely upset over this situation, and rightly so. But all of the game journalists and news outlets came to the rescue, came to defend Unity, saying, yeah, you might not like their pricing changes, but this isn't acceptable. And of course, it's never acceptable to send death threats towards people, but they had simply said that they were shutting down all of these offices. They're fully cooperating with law enforcement. The safety of their employees is their #1 priority. And of course, we know that their consumers definitely aren't a very high priority to them, judging by the changes that they're making. But the plot has thickened because now we have found out that the threat was actually made by a Unity employee who did not work at either of these offices. This Eurogamer article says, update, the credible, in quotes, death threat that prompted the closure of Unity offices was made by a Unity employee, police have now revealed. A statement from San Francisco police via Polygon explained that the threat originated from an employee who had made a threat towards his employer using social media. The unnamed employee who made the threat did not work in the San Francisco office, and it's unclear what further action is being taken. And we also now know that they had shut down an office in Texas, and this employee did not work in Texas either. But of course, when Unity had made this statement, they made it seem like they had legitimate bad death threats being levied towards them. And we don't know exactly what this employee said. I could not find any screenshots of it. But apparently, all we know is that it was from an employee who made a threat towards his employer using social media. So this might have not even been like a public tweet. It could have simply been sent through DMs. And this has caused people to think that this was just a major hoax and a ploy for sympathy, which I, of course, I can't say 100% for certain it is or it isn't, but to me, this does read as a ploy for sympathy. They are facing so much scrutiny right now There are thousands of developers threatening to boycott them, hundreds of thousands to millions of people on social media, absolutely destroying them over these major changes. And there are people that are very furious, so the death threats could be real. But at the same time, it was very convenient that at the height, only a day or two after they made these big announcements, this happened, and it's all the news was talking about for 2 days, that, oh my God, these poor employees. And we definitely did feel all very sympathetic for them. So that is a major controversy that they've put themselves in the middle of now. And to top that off, there's also the controversy with their executives going on. Unity executives, including the CEO, sold shares prior to the recent controversial announcement. Now, of course, this has also been blowing up on social media. A lot of people are talking about this, but it is important to point out that while we initially saw evidence that the CEO was sharing or selling off shares right before, I think it was like 2 weeks before this major announcement, this has been going on for months. They have been accused of insider trading multiple times at this point. So this is not even a brand new situation or anything. As you can see, this is an article from May that says Unity software leaders accused of insider trading on bad metrics. An investor sued senior leaders of Unity software in Delaware, claiming they falsely hyped up its user metrics while some of them made insider stock sales worth more than $730 million. So that has been going on. But again, over just the past 2 weeks, we also saw stocks being sold off. It says, according to an early report by Guru Focus, the top Unity official sold multiple shares days before the official runtime fee announcement. John, the president and CEO, sold 2,000 shares on September 6th, which is just 6 days before the runtime fee announcement. And what's interesting is that he has sold 50,610 shares over the past year while buying none. So definitely not a good impression. Another piece of this puzzle is with IronSource. As the article says, Tomar Bar-Zeev, the CEO of IronSource and president of Grow, offloaded 37,500 shares on September 1st at $37.45 per share. Now, of course, he sold nearly 40,000 shares on September 1st and has also sold tens of millions of dollars worth of stock over the past year. And just last year in 2022, Unity announced a merger agreement with IronSource. IronSource is a software company that focuses on developing technologies for app monetization and distribution. This move in totality not only affects indie developers but also many mobile games, and as it seems, in my opinion, they made these changes to target gacha games since many of them run on Unity. They want to target titles like Pokemon Go and Genshin Impact, these targets that make billions of dollars. But yeah, I mean, Unity is up in flames right now. The gaming industry is blowing up because of this situation. There are indie developers threatening to boycott Unity going forward. We haven't even really seen them make any hard statements saying, we're so sorry, we didn't communicate this better with you guys, even trying to act sympathetic at all whatsoever, because it just doesn't seem like they're very sympathetic. It just doesn't seem like they really care. But yes, it seems like they closed their offices over this potential threat that was actually made by one of their employees. We've got some insider trading accusations going on, and I just don't see the situation getting better for them anytime soon. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.